We've got 7 o'clock, so I'm going to get started. We're going to start with case number 2412, 23 Eaton Street. The Zoning Board of Appeals will hold a public hearing in the Select Board Meetings Room at Town Hall, 16 Lowell Street, Reading, Massachusetts, on Wednesday, September 4th, 2024, at 7 p.m. on application of P. Catalano Construction, LLC, on behalf of the homeowner, pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 40A, Section 9, for special permit under the Reading Zoning Bylaws, Section 4.5, 5.3.2, and 4.5.7. As may be determined by the zoning board, to construct a new story addition with an accessory dwelling comprising 684 square feet on a property located at 23 Eaton Street, Assessors Map 22, Lot 121, in Reading, Massachusetts. Unless there's an objection, I will dispense with the reading of the butters list, except to say that the butters were notified as were the following: Select Board, Town Clerk, Police Department, Fire Department, Building Department, Conservation Commission, Health Department, Assessor's Office, Engineering Division, CPDC, the members and associate members of the Board of Appeals, as well as the planning boards of Wakefield, Linfield, North Reading, Stoneham, Woburn, and Wilmington. The testimony given before this board is taken under oath, so if you think you may want to speak, please stand and raise your right hand. So is anyone from this who's presenting, or
Sure, maybe, shall I start just?
or can we just do the oath first, so if you just stand up?
Sure, sure.
And anyone else who thinks they might talk, so can you just raise your right hand? Yeah. I swear the testimony given by me before this board will be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. The response is just I do.
Yes, I do.
All right, great. Yes, just want to give us a quick overview of the application. That'd be great.
Sure, yes, thank you and good evening. Thanks everyone for being here.
Could you come up to the podium, please?
Sure, yeah, maybe I'll just say one or two words. My name's Elizabeth Cuniff and I live at 23 Eaton Street, the property that we're here to discuss. This is my husband Andrew here and my mother Kathy. We just want to say thank you for reviewing the plans and for conducting this meeting. We are 18-year residents of Reading, always at 23 Eaton Street. We have a lovely neighborhood. We're very happy there. We have very kind and supportive neighbors as well. And so when it came time to think about adding some accessory space, we knew we wanted to do it on Eaton Street. And so that is what we're asking to do, as you know from the plans, add an accessory space. I want to introduce my mother Kathy, who would be living in that accessory space next to us. We're very happy to have her join this community, as she is happy to join, and also just to be near each other and support one another. So again, thank you very much for the opportunity. I know you have, from all the preparations, I know you have the necessary information in front of you. Any questions, et cetera, I'd like to introduce, we also have Paul Catalano here and Karen. He is the general contractor for the program, and he'll be very happy to field any questions along the way. And so with that, let me just again say thank you and let you know that we're here for any questions. Thanks.
Great. Thank you. I guess does anyone on the board have any questions or comments about this case? Sai?
Yeah, it's basically the special permit is for the accessory apartment, really, is it not?
The addition is.
The addition could be
would
done
by right.
by right. Okay, so, and I went through the criteria of under paragraph 5.4.7.3 of this bylaws, which basically defines the requirements for an accessory apartment, and I think I didn't find anything that didn't meet the requirement. So I really don't have any problem here.
Great.
Agreed.
Chris? Nope. Anyone else? All right. Yeah, I don't have anything else. Sounds good. Yeah, so I guess I'll open up to public comment. Is there anyone here who wants to talk about it?
I actually just came, their
Okay.
neighbor. I
Okay.
live at 17 Eaton Street, and I'm just here in support of it as well. I live right next door to them. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, great. So we also got a letter of support from your neighbors at 16 Eaton Street. They just wrote a letter saying, "Dear Mr. Houghton," who's Justin Patrick, I want to let you know I support my neighbors Cunith as they are hoping to renovate their home. They are across my street neighbors and share their plans with me and do not have any concerns. Please feel free to reach out to me with any questions or concerns. I live at 16 Eaton Street. Thank you, Tom. Pass this on if anyone wants to see it. But any other public comment? Does someone wanna propose a motion for this one?
I can propose that we accept the petitioner's request for a special permit under section 5.4.7 accessory apartments and 5.4.7.2 restrictions of the town of Reading zoning bylaw to construct a 30 by 32 story addition with 684 square feet accessory apartment on the first floor as shown on the plot plan dated 7/15 it's 24 7/15/24 as revised August 5th. Have you seen the revised version, right?
That's what's on here.
As revised August 5th, 2024, prepared by David
got it?
P.
He's got it.
Terrazzoni. And architectural drawings dated 4/14/24, prepared by Catalado Construction.
Do I have a second?
I'll
I think
second.
special conditions apply too.
Do the standard conditions, I guess.
Special permit will be subject to the following conditions. The petitioner shall submit the building inspector a certified plot plan of the proposed construction and proposed foundation plans prior to the issuance of the foundation permit for the work. Petitioner's final construction plans for the new structure shall be submitted to the building inspector along with the as-built foundation plans prior to the issuance of the building permit. As-built plans showing the completed construction shall be submitted to the building inspector immediately after the work is completed and prior to the issuance of an occupancy permit.
Second it.
All in favor?
Yeah.
Great, passed, you're all set.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Appreciate it, thanks.
Thank you. Okay, so let's move on to case number 24-13, 215 Washington Street. The zoning board of appeals will hold a public hearing in the select board's meeting room at Town Hall, 16 Lowell Street, Reading, Massachusetts, on Wednesday, September 4th, 2024, at 7 p.m. on the application of Anna Basilio on behalf of the property owner pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 48, Section 10, for variance under the Reading zoning bylaws, Section 4.5.2, 6.0, 7.0, and 7.4, as may be determined by the zoning board, to construct a covered porch which will extend a pre-existing non-conforming structure and create a new non-conforming front yard setback on the property located at 215 Washington Street. Assessors map 17, lot 90 in Reading, Massachusetts. Unless there's an objection, I will dispense with the reading of the abutters list, except to say that the abutters were notified, as were the following: Select Board, the Town Clerk, Police Department, Fire Department, Building Department, Conservation Commission, Health Department, Assessor's Office, Engineering Division, CPDC, members and associate members of the Board of Appeals, as well as the planning boards of Wakefield, Linfield, North Reading, Stoneham, Woburn, and Wilmington. Testimony before this board is taken under oath, so if you think you may want to speak, please stand and raise your right hand. I don't know if he's going to be presenting or if anyone else wants to talk to or.
Oh, sure.
Okay. Okay. I swear the testimony given by me before this board will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Response, just I do.
I do.
Okay, great.
We trust, oh, sorry.
No, that's all you need to do. All set?
We trust in everything that Anna's did and everything that she's supplied for you guys.
Okay.
But this is my husband Kevin, I'm Sydney, and we live at 215 Washington. And we just wanted to come and show our support and let you know that we are expecting our first child. And we just wanted to add on the porch as like an extra barrier to our house for safety reasons and
Sounds good. Does anyone from the board want to get started?
I have a question. I'm not sure if one of you can answer it. I don't know. When you say the setback from the front, from the street now is 18 and a half feet, are you taking that from the front wall of the house or from the bottom of the steps that are there?
The house, from the house.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not taking the stairs into consideration because it's open stairs, so from the house to the end of the lot line.
Okay. And could you identify yourself and,
I'm Anna Basilio, I applied for the variance on behalf of the
okay,
homeowners.
okay.
Can we just swear you in too, since you're gonna speak on this
Yeah,
case? Yeah, sorry. So yeah, same, I swear that the testimony given by me before this board will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, and the response is just, I do. Alright, actually, I have the same question as you about where the existing was taken from. Yeah, I guess anyone else on the,
So the porch will definitely add some character to that house. So, yeah. Are you adding, so the stairs, I can't see the plans for the stairs coming out. Would they still be masonry or wood?
It will be one side.
Masonry stairs still?
No, it will be, we'll do a frame, PT frame for the stairs, just a couple stairs, it's not that high, it's not even 3 feet high, so a couple stairs just to go up the front porch.
yeah, I guess, is there anyone else on the board with comments?
Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I think the two things that I would say are, unfortunately, unlike the previous case, it's gonna be a variance instead of a special permit, so it's a little bit more difficult to get. I think one of the things we've gotta take into consideration when working on a variance is the answer to the 4 questions you guys answered. But I think one of the questions is the first one about the soil conditions and topography, and I'm not sure that quite got addressed. I think that what that question is asking is to look for something that is unique about this lot that would mean that there should be an exception granted, and I'm not sure that this answer really addresses that. It's more about how it is like other lots in the area. So that is something that is, I think, would be a difficulty in for us granting this. Does that make sense?
What would be the first question, what would be the question?
So the first question is describe the circumstances relating to soil conditions, shape or topography, which especially affect the land or structures in question, but which do not generally affect the zoning district. And I think that you sort of answer that question in reverse, saying that this is like other lots in the zoning district, but for us to grant the variance, we need to figure out, or we need to have a reason why this one is not like other lots in the zoning district. Yeah.
But I have a question though, what am I missing? Why wouldn't this be a special permit if it's 18.5 now and it should be 20? Isn't it non-conforming already?
It's expanded.
But you're creating a new you're going from 18.5 to 10.5 feet.
Okay,
So you're
okay,
creating a
because
new-
the new non-conforming, okay.
You know, sometimes the simplest of cases become the hardest to justify in terms of the variance criteria, unfortunately. But as you probably well know, Town of Reading doesn't generate the criteria for variance, that's done by the state, so we have to comply. So, and it's, I think the one that I had most trouble with is the hardship criteria. It's hard to define a hardship for something like this. Sympathetically, I can look at it and say, yeah, it's probably a hardship in one set of eyes, but in another set of eyes, it's hard to justify, so. But that's the only comment I had. I wanted to take a ride up that way the other day, but then there was some construction going on, and I couldn't get to the house. Spent much more time than I had time to spend, so I quit. What I was interested in trying to determine is how many houses on Washington Street are already in non-compliance
Quite a
with the
few.
20-foot
There's quite a few.
Quite a few.
Okay, and whether this was gonna stand out from all the
Yeah.
others, or whether there's other houses on that street that were already non-conforming.
It's not, and that's what I'm struggling with, because I did drive by, you may have seen me pull into your driveway, because you can't park on that street. And pretty much a lot of the neighbors around there also have porches or, some sort of whatever that's pretty darn close to that sidewalk. Yeah, which I'm sure is, old non-conforming issues. And, you know, I had concluded that this, what they're asking to do isn't really any different than what many buildings in the area already have. However, as Cy pointed out, the criteria for a variance is more than just that. If that were the only question, you wouldn't have a problem, but there's other questions that need to be answered yes. And unfortunately, you don't get there, I don't think. I mean, I guess I missed this. Tell me more about the concern about a car slamming into your house and it happened to a neighbor?
Oh, no,
What was that?
We wrote it the letter,
What's that side street?
Eaton. Yeah, it's hard, we've seen a lot of almost car accidents and one actually, in order to avoid the car accident, came up onto our neighbor's lawn.
Oh, okay,
And like you did say, there is no parking, there's no cars that separate.
right,
Not that that would help, but to separate the street from a vehicle that might be out of control or driving really quickly. And then the first barrier is just the wall in our living room. So,
right.
and so we got out of, especially inviting our firstborn, and that scared us a little bit, watching that car come up on the lawn.
Sure.
So go ahead.
I mean, I guess the one thing that's going to trip all of us up very much is just how stringent the statute actually is. It's a circumstance where unless you are able to prove all of those 4 criteria that are indicated in that that statute itself, where it's talking about how the soil and topography is different from everything else, and how there would be a substantial hardship in these circumstances. You have to prove every single one of those in order to actually obtain a variance. And it's just such a very, very high standard that makes it very difficult for a lot of boards to actually grant those. It's a circumstance where unless you're able to prove each and every single one of those different criteria, we are essentially required to deny it. So that is the difference between what you saw with the Eaton Street property was a special permit versus a variance. So it's a circumstance where you have to kind of look at how your plans fit into the criteria for that particular variance. And in order to convince a zoning board to actually grant a variance, it's something where you have to really kind of take a look at your property versus all of the other properties and really pay attention to how those particular criteria would apply in certain circumstances for a variance itself. So given where we are, I don't know if I'd be able to actually grant a variance based upon the application as it is right now.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
With the amount of steps, is that one of the criterias to
No.
lessen the amount of steps?
No.
Because of the steepness.
So-
of the
Standard
topography.
exempt from zoning.
Yeah.
Are they?
They need to show that there's something unique about this lot. Not, you know, that's different from the rest of your neighborhood, the rest of everywhere. That means you cannot comply with the rules, with the setbacks and the different rules that are in place. For instance, if half of your backyard was an enormous piece of granite that you can't do anything on, and therefore the house has to be far forward. But that, you know, that's the sort of thing that would justify potentially granting a variance. But if you don't have something like that that's unique about your lot that requires a certain thing, and the fact that your house is where it is doesn't count. Sorry about that, but it you know, that's not a good enough reason. So that's, if you could come back and show that you do meet that criteria in some way that you haven't explained yet, you know, we could certainly reconsider this, but
Then suggest that
Yes.
they withdraw.
yes. So what we would suggest is that instead, if you think that there's a chance that you could rework this and come up with some different information that would support us giving a variance, then I suggest that you withdraw the application instead of having us vote on it, because if we deny it, there's a 2-year time limit that you have to wait before you can come back. So if you want to avoid that risk, you could withdraw your application and then you'd be able to bring it again much more easily.
Withdraw or continue?
Withdraw.
Or continue?
Well, that you could continue it as, you could ask for a continuance as well to like the next meeting or something, except that I don't know if you're gonna be ready for that. I mean, you need to think more about it maybe, so that's up to you, but the key is you don't want us to vote on it right now, because I think you're
Yes,
getting an
I
indication that we can't allow it, so.
The two parts, the two questions is the topography and the hardship.
So in,
Criteria.
there's
Yes.
4 criteria as part of the application itself.
Yes.
Right.
And you would essentially need to prove each and every single one of those for us to even consider it.
Okay.
So it'd be that there would be a hardship, that the topography of the soil is different from other areas, I believe, that the relief can be granted without a detriment to public good. Circumstances that we're looking at there are, it's one of these things where we look at precedent as well. It's a circumstance where if we grant this variance for you, that means we would quite literally have to grant it for every single other person on your street who would make that application. So those types of circumstances that we need to specifically indicate, and just kind of, that goes towards how the property is a little bit different. And then I think the 4th is how the relief can be granted without nullifying or substantially derogating from the intent or purpose of the zoning ordinance. So I think it's something where look at why why towns would generally have those front setbacks, and think about how some of these changes may affect that as well.
Yeah, so I think you got a general sense of where we are on the variance side of things. One other thing you could look at is there is a footnote in the setback table where you can actually look at your neighbor's setbacks. I'm not exactly sure what the whole process is for that, because I'm not sure how often that's used.
Yeah, I
Used, but-
tried, it would
They're on there.
be, the average would be around 16 feet, so it's still,
Average like 19.
yeah.
I'm just 19, okay,
Okay.
okay, got it. Bummer. Okay, yeah, so I guess that leaves us, so we can either vote on the application, which you'd be subject to the 2-year restriction if it doesn't pass, or we can continue it to next meeting if you think you might be able to rework these,
They could also withdraw.
or withdraw.
Or withdraw,
Or
yeah,
withdraw.
depending on how much time you think you might need to come back, or if you think you can't come back.
So I just want to put the option is if they do decide to continue and they can't meet the next one, they can always submit an email requesting to.
That's true.
Further extension.
Yeah, you could keep continuing it until you are ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll withdraw for now and then, work on the application and then
Okay.
pass it in for another meeting.
So just if you do withdraw, you have to reapply all over again, so you have to do the fee.
Notifying abutters.
So you have to redo the whole application process again.
You don't have to continue it to our next meeting, you can continue it to 2 meetings from now, I believe.
Okay, yeah, okay, so yeah, I think that's a better option then,
Yeah, that seems like it.
okay.
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 So I'll make a motion to continue until, I believe, our November 6th meeting.
That sounds right.
Second,
I'll second.
alright, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Alright, you guys are all set.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Best
2
of luck,
months.
guys.
Thank you.
I guess, right.
Variances. Yes.
That's how you gotta do it, you gotta work. Yeah, how many 2-year suspensions of it? It's the first.
Okay, minutes.
I think the last thing on our minutes, or agenda is the minutes from the August meeting. I wasn't here, so I don't have any particular comments on them.
I do have something I need to bring up, so, and I'm the one who made the motion at the last meeting. There was a lot of discussion and a lot of neighbors who were here talking about it with a lot of concern, so we tried to fashion, we did grant the request, but we tried to fashion the order in a way to address some of those concerns. And one of the things that I proposed and that was voted on was a restriction in the hours that the business could have people there, could operate. And then some research was done afterwards and determined that this board does not have the authority to restrict hours like that. So although the minutes properly reflect what we did do was not correct, or not within our authority in that respect, as far as the limited hours goes. So I don't know what the procedure would be to, I mean, if we can amend, I honestly don't know what we have to do. It seems like we have to redo the
Like an addendum maybe?
I don't know.
One thing we could do, I think, is just make a motion that remove the condition that was established for case whatever so-and-so it was at the last meeting.
But my question is, would we then have to give public notice of that and allow people to, I mean, we certainly heard we certainly heard all of the concerns.
I want to notice that also with the parking, conditions in the decision as well, goes to a specific section, I think it's in the general bylaws. I had to talk to Andrew about the proper process of how to handle this. Did we mention anything with the decision?
Has the case been written up?
Yeah, so the decision was posted.
I mean, has the decision been written up?
Yeah, it has to be posted like about 2 weeks after the meeting, so the
So-
expiration date, so the 20-day appeal period expires on.
So, okay.
So,
Point is,
but
the
we,
decision has been approved and everything else, so the process is complete, so somehow that decision's gotta be amended.
yeah, that's the concern, the mechanism for
Or just
that,
not.
because right now we have an order with a condition that is extrajudicial would be the proper phrase, I think. And it may affect, I don't know if it would, not having that condition would have changed anybody's vote. I doubt it, but I think theoretically, that should be, it should go through some kind of formal process to do that. And I just don't know what that process is, so.
I can probably check up with Andrew. I'm not sure if maybe just having a conversation and everyone agreeing now and reflecting in next month's meeting to address that would be appropriate or not, or if we do have to do something with it. So I'll bring it up to you.
So,
All right, well, that sounds good then. I mean, just in case it works, why don't we put on the record now, assuming that it's correct, and, you know, if anybody has any further comments on it, that the removal of that condition, it still would have passed. And if we could put that on the record, if that's sufficient, then we're done. If it's not sufficient, then we'll need to just do whatever we need to
Was
do.
there 2 conditions? Wasn't it
Well,
parking?
there were
Just the
several
Sunday
conditions,
condition,
but the specific condition about the hours was what was
I
not.
thought also parking.
Um,
I believe any issues revolving around parking might
It
have
was
been
the-
addressed actually at the meeting itself.
yeah.
We didn't
I
actually
believe there
put
was
conditions on parking.
Yeah, that's
I don't
right.
remember doing conditions
Amanda
We
said-
discussed it.
Conditions on parking to only allow 2 vehicles.
Outside.
Outside, and I heard Brian up there, we didn't have much of a conversation, I drafted it and he was the one who approved it and then signed it all.
Mhm.
So that was something we did, that they have to abide by, I don't remember the bylaw off the top of my head, but whichever bylaw that, I think it was something in the general bylaws.
Specifically involving parking and
Yeah.
commercial businesses within Reading, things along those lines were.
Yeah,
Yeah, kinda
okay.
like the hours, so as long as they adhere to the general bylaws.
Right, okay. All right, so I guess maybe on both of those things then, the parking, and the reason I had proposed that specific criteria was because he had said he could put vehicles inside the building. So I, had imagined that any extra vehicles would go inside the building. But in any case, so if I sure how to phrase this. Ask the board to affirm their vote on the allowance of that petition,
It's case number 24-10.
case number 24-10, 943 Main Street, without the conditions limiting the number of vehicles that could be parked on the premises outside, and without the condition regarding the working hours. Would the board affirm their approval of that motion without those conditions?
I can say
Yes?
that my vote would.
I'm trying to figure out who voted on it. Capone, Gregory,
Did you vote on that one?
so someone voted no.
Yeah, I think we all did.
And I think that
But
was
it was either you or Tara.
Oh, I did for the pest.
You did for that one,
For the past
okay,
one.
so we're all here,
So we're all here.
we're all here,
Did
Okay.
Tara vote on that?
I think she
No.
voted for the first.
cause they,
Tara voted for the first
That's
one.
right,
Alternate.
she did vote for that
Yeah.
one and then you got the second one, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
So then I will affirm.
affirm.
affirm,
Me too.
okay. So everybody has affirmed that they would vote for it with, even if those conditions were missing. So if that is sufficient to fix the problem, then fine, and if it's not, please let us know.
I'm surprised the decision's finalized if the appeal period's not over, I would
So
think.
it has, so the appeal period starts when we time stamp it, so we have, I think it's about a week and a half or 2 weeks. to like,
Okay,
timestamp.
okay, got it,
And I think we started last day.
okay.
So like for this meeting, I would have to have it filed by 2 p.m. with the town clerk by September 18th.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, I guess the question from a legal perspective is if somebody would have, if it were changed, would that trigger a new appeal period? You know, if we're trying to make
think it
change in
probably
some
would.
substantial way.
Decision said,
Yeah, what's posted?
because he might have taken that out of the decision.
He might have taken it out of the decision already.
Yeah, so I think that's,
Which it probably.
Okay.
That's why I say it'd be nice if the write-up is,
Someone could pull up, go to the zoning of the
sure.
website, it should be posted on there under discussion.
Oh. If it's not in there, then
they'd
we're,
already be done.
yeah.
we've wasted
Yeah,
the
'cause
last
that
10
would be-
minutes.
Like
If
my-
someone in history would ever go back to those minutes, maybe it could cause a problem.
Well, actually, the specific conditions are not listed in the minutes.
Well, I don't think,
Okay.
943 Main
It says we discuss the following conditions, but it doesn't say that we
Then you're good then.
mandated the following conditions.
Okay, yeah, so this says that hours of operation shall adhere to the hours stipulated in Reading General Bylaw 7.7.1.
Oh. Okay,
That's fine.
So I think we're,
and parking, all commercial parking,
shall be contained on site and abide by local overnight parking regulations. No
Okay.
parking shall impede access and
all
circulation.
right, so the actual order differs from what the board voted on, but in a way that was necessary because of our
With the law.
extrajudicial decision. So we're good,
Makes sense to me.
okay,
Okay,
thank you.
awesome. Sorry. Yeah, that was my concern, is if it was posted something different and then actually got it registered.
Yeah.
That'd be
Yeah.
a pain.
It goes to Andrew first, and he goes through and he'll update some of like that language, because he's
Okay,
If
Alright.
we still wanna do that addendum that says that we all agreed to it on the
I think
minutes,
that's
just
fine.
so no
it's on the
one-
record, it's on the
And it's on the record
Yeah.
for this
Yeah.
meeting too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea, just because
Yeah.
that isn't quite what we voted on.
I agree.
Okay,
Okay,
You went around.
so any other comments on the minutes from last week?
I think when you show the voting on the minutes or some, any of the cases, you can't show all 6 or 7 people voting. There's only gonna be 5 members voting on every one of those issues.
I think only
And it's
5.
usually the permanent
It's
members that
fine.
are there, and if one of them isn't there, then one of the 2 loop people will vote.
you make it 6 names then?
right,
You make it all 6 names?
You put all 6 names on previous minutes, well, then you put all.
on this one, she put
and-
5.
I think 1, 2, 3, there were 5 on the special permit.
Yeah, I think on the minutes and the adjournment, I think it is appropriate to put everybody
I'll
down.
double check with Andrew on that one, just because I was looking at the
I think we've
Yeah.
always operated on the premise that if the 5 permanent members are there, they're the ones that
Patrick did
vote
not
on
approve the
everything.
adjournment, and he's been here for a
Adjourning.
month. Just, there's a typo, page 3, it says the board members discuss the following conditions. On page 3,
Where? Oh, yeah.
the board members
Right above
discuss the
the
following
conditions.
conditions.
Cosmetic.
Yeah.
Anything else for the minutes?
I'll make a motion.
For
Oh.
Tara, on the second page where you show Tara, you show MX Tara. What's
Yeah,
MX?
so MX is for like non-binary, so like pronouns they, their.
Oh, really?
She brought it up.
Yeah, Tara specified her pronouns as we were leaving last time.
At the bottom of page 3, it says we need to verify who seconded that motion.
Oh, yes.
I have no idea who
So
did that.
I went back into like the video. I couldn't figure out who actually.
I think probably
You can put
3
me.
people did it at once.
Patrick, you made the motion.
Oh,
Then I
was
seconded
it?
I
Okay,
used to live there, that house, that doing the project. I thought it was a good time.
then I'll make a motion to accept these minutes with the corrections we discussed.
Okay.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I won't vote. Alright,
Make a motion to adjourn.
any other business? Alright, great, yeah,
Motion to adjourn?
great,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Awesome, thank you.
Alrighty.
All right, thank you.
Have a good night.
Thank you all very much.